is a man I admire and respect. And he's such a, every time you meet Peter, he's smiling. If he shakes your hand, if you're not steady, you fall. But he's an excellent man, a very good leader. So Peter will be evaluating John. So let's put our hands together. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. One of the best things about Toastmasters is that they have a pattern for everything you can think of in terms of speaking and reading. This organization has been around from 1924. So they've come to understand how people develop public speaking skills, how meetings run effectively, and they've condensed all that into the manuals that we have here. And I'm glad and honored today to evaluate John Kagesha, a person I consider to be one of the best impromptu speakers I've ever heard. And for those of you who did not attend the dinner last year, John Kagesha was the speaker, an impromptu speaker last year. And at that point, he was only at CC. What month was that?
When was it?
June 2022.
Two, I think.
CC2 or CC3, and he had an outstanding speech, and one of the regrets I have is that I did not record it. John, like I said, you're an excellent speaker. But there's no such thing as an impromptu speech. Impromptu speeches are rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed again. It is said that Winston Churchill spent at least 2 hours every day rehearsing what people thought in Parliament was impromptu. It wasn't. The reason being that there's always a pattern to how people ask questions, a pattern to how situations present themselves, and if you have a preparation, if you understand those patterns and you prepare yourself and you can, you have a few tricks up your back that you can use to get into any pattern that is presented to you, and it looks impromptu, but it's always prepared in your mind. So as a Toastmaster, the first things about the reaction, your initial reaction, was one of surprise. Now your name was on the list. I didn't understand how surprised you can be and you can see your name. And in that surprise, you lost a critical opportunity because now you gave it up to us to determine for you what should be your impromptu speech when you have that opportunity to determine it for yourself. You could have determined and said, I'll do exactly what I have determined in my heart to do, and you wouldn't have needed the time because you're a good speaker. I know you have a speech, 4 or 5 speeches in your mind right now, ready to give, and you could have given us one of those. And it goes for us as Toastmasters as well. Whenever people come and ask you, they're speaking to a few young men as mentioned, when people come and ask you to speak, don't act surprised, act as if it is the natural thing to do, because after attending meetings in Toastmasters, you look like a leader. Somehow, something happens. And people look up to you in meetings and they expect that you know what to do. So don't make it up to them again. Stand up and speak. You are a bit nervous. It took some time for you to come and collect yourself. And I love that you put the lecture aside. But it took 2 minutes into your speech for you to finally settle down for you to see the John Kagesha that I knew. I love it that you started with the story, which was interesting about how vision and the lack of a dream can hinder you. And I love it that you built on that story and gave us a story that we would not forget in our life. What would I say that you need to do? I still think that you can take charge of these situations, the speaking situations, because you're a Toastmaster, and it goes for all of us. We can take charge of any speaking situation because we're equipped by attending these meetings to do that. And I think you did well, and I think there are things that you can bring on. I think you can settle down a lot quicker and use the talents and abilities that you have exhibited so well as a Toastmaster. I'm honored to have evaluated you, and the full evaluation will be after this meeting. What does it mean for a married couple